Welcome back to the channel once again, guys. It is LFC Plavi here with Statman Stana. And as usual, it's your LB podcast. Today's discussion is on the Blackstars of Ghana. And we are here to preview the game between the Blackstars of Ghana and Panama in the World Cup. How is it going, Stana?
Yeah, difficult game. Um, Panama actually are ahead of us when it comes to the FIFA rankings. They are a more consistent side. You also have to take in context where the continent or the team that they face to us. So even though they are ahead of us, they aren't as the disparity between the two teams is not a reflection of what the FIFA ranking says. It is much closer because they are 30 something, Ghana is 70 something. That's a huge margin, but in actual sense, it's not that huge in my opinion. I think Ghana still has quality individually than Panama. Panama is more of a team oriented, they have more stability. Their manager, Thomas Christiansen, has been there for a while now. I think he's been there for a good part of 5 years now. In the last tournament in 2022, they didn't qualify. There were talks of him being sacked, but the players actually vouched for him, wanted to continue with him. The first time they qualified was in 2018, and he brought them back, and now they've qualified for the 2026. We're facing them. You look at them, they have actually done quite well in that part of the world. They reached the CONCACAF final. If you remember, there was actually a popular video where in the semi-final they faced the U.S. men's national team, where one of the players, Cecilio Waterman, scored a goal and approached Thierry Henry. Yeah, that popular celebration was from the Panamese national team. They beat USA in that semi-final to reach the CONCACAF final. They played the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup as well in recent years. So they are quite a stable side. Looking at Ghana and what has gone on so far, we've already spoken about Thomas Partey and his exclusion
So let
from
me
the
ask
team.
you, before we go to Ghana, let me
Yeah,
ask you, when you look at the Panama team, what
yeah.
is their style of play? Where do you think they can hit this Ghana team? And after that, we'll come back and look at Ghana and how we need to approach the game. But what do you think is Panama's main strengths?
Yeah, Panama's main strength very much relies on what they do off the ball because they know they aren't as good as some of the teams that they normally face. They do like to set up in a three-back system, in a 3-4-3 system. That is what they usually do, and then try and hit on the break. They have a very experienced midfielder in Bordeaux. He's the captain of the side. He's a 36-year-old. He will be the one to spearhead that midfield and make sure that they try and win towards the midfield and try and hit on the break very fast. And interestingly, that is sort of what we would try to do. So it will be interesting how the game goes and who actually takes control of the game in terms of the possession of the game or whether we see an end-to-end game. But for Panama, that is exactly how they would want to play. But one other thing also is Ghana knows that with the group that we have, Panama is the one team that we would need to make sure to come at one point. Likewise, Panama, in their thinking, they would also know that Ghana will be the team that they will need to win the game against. So it would mean that both teams would ultimately try and win the game, and that would will have an exciting game on our hands.
Okay, so when you look at the way Ghana has played in the last few games leading up to the World Cup,
Yeah,
also the first friendly game that we played under Carlos Queiroz, the current Black Stars manager. It looks like it's a counter-attacking strategy. We sit back, we defend, and we hit you on the break with quick transitions and long balls.
uh,
When you look at Panama, do you think they are a team that can break us down? If we sit back in a low block, can they possibly break us down? Or they would only rely on also breaking away through counterattacks? Are they able to really break down teams the way that maybe other better teams would be able to do?
Yeah, yeah. Panama will not try and break Ghana down. They will try and give the ball to us and try and knock it off us, and then when we are exposed, that is how they will try and score the goal. They aren't as they don't have the quality to break us down. And that is maybe something that we could use to our advantage in trying to let them have the ball for a little while and then see how we can also pick them up because they aren't a good side when they have the ball. Again, you we should also consider the fact that because they don't have the quality in their squad to be able to do damage when they have the ball and breaking low blocks down. It also means that whenever they have the ball, they are trying to go quick vertically and go in behind with long balls. You look at the way they play out from the back, they very rarely play out from the goalkeeper to their centre back. It's most of the time a long ball. A long ball, then they try and win the second ball in midfield and then they try and advance from there. So that is the way that Panama will look to get Ghana on the break.
Okay, so from what you are saying, it means that Ghana would have to be extremely good in the defense and also in the midfield. We need to impose ourselves in that midfield. So now
So
let's switch on to the Black Stars. Looking at the Black Stars, we all know the strategy that we are going in with. Where do you think we should be very efficient? Defense, goalkeeping, midfield, or the attack? Because I feel like we are going to get only few opportunities, even though it is still Panama, and therefore we need to take our chances.
yeah, I do believe that as well. We need to take our chances. I think the game will swing in the balance of who takes the better of their chance. Both sides will get chances. I think without the ball, one thing that I've really noticed about Ghana is our lateral, the left and the left side, especially the left side. It is something that I've seen in the recent friendly games that we play. Teams have really utilized the blind spaces or the blind side from our left-hand channel. So it looks like if we are to stay compact, it would mean that our center backs and our full backs we need to be highly concentrated for the whole game. If they have pacey wingers who are very good in terms of running in behind. Cecilia Waterman, the guy who scored the goal, is a typical example of that. And so defensively, that is what we have to do. Again, set pieces will be key, not just scoring them, but defending them as well. Panama, that is also one of their strengths. Likewise, us. So we need to make sure we use it to our advantage. Now, in terms of the set piece that I'm talking about, of course, I've already mentioned the fact that Ghana scored 6% of its goals in the World Cup qualifier from set corners, free kicks, and whatnot. Now, you look at the friendlies that we played and the lack of goal. Aside the game that we played against was Ghana has faced 134 touches in our own penalty box. That means that the shield in front of our defense is non-existent. It is so easy to transition from
Yeah,
our
the
area of
midfield is
protection to our
porous.
final third. So the shield in front of the defense is something we need to look at. Now going back to the set pieces, I've talked about us needing to make sure that we are able to score from set piece. That is one major way we get goals, and we need to make sure we make sure we deal with that. Again, the friendlies that we played, like I said earlier, we've lost our last 5 friends. And you look at it and look at number of set pieces we had in those games, very limited. So first of
Mm,
all, even though we are talking about set pieces, you need to have a moment in the game where you are dominant to be able to get those set pieces. Because
yeah,
if you get a foul and it's in your own area, the likelihood of that set piece not being a dangerous and very high. You need to get
yeah.
shots on goal to be able to get a corner in the first place. That is something that I haven't seen most people talk about. We need to make sure we improve on our set play because it's kind of set play that we scored in the World Cup qualifier. Your position and how they defend it will be better. Most teams are not aware of it, so they train for it. And as I'm telling you that we score 60% from our set pieces, the other teams know that Ghana's strong suit is that set, so they will train for it. So we need to improve it. But even with improving it, we need to make sure we get more of those set pieces. We need to get set pieces closer to their opponent's goal, more corners, and as such. So in the World game, the reason why we got the equalizer was not because the team was playing at a high level where you saw the telepathy and everything working to perfection. It was mostly about how we won the ball back, and I think we could use that to our advantage. The more Panama want to go long, at times when they find out that they are able to play out from the back without us necessarily pressing from the front, they might be persuaded to play out from the back. And so we need to trigger the press, trigger them in terms of we bait them. So immediately they feel a little bit comfortable, they think they can play out, then we go on to them, win the ball high, and then we try and transition. We have the players for it. We have pacey players as well that we can. We saw Enes Niama in that World game when Brandon Thomas Sante won the ball back immediately, 2-3 dribbles, and we went the final third, had a shot on goal, and then Khalid Yuenki scored that rebound. I think it's as simple as that. Because when you asked about Panama and if they can break us down, we can't also break them down. I don't believe Ghana can break it down by moving the ball side to side. No, I don't see that. I think both teams have similar quality in terms of how we want to score goals, and eventually it will come down to who takes their chance on Wednesday.
Another thing that I'm quite worried about when it comes to the Black Stars is playing out from the back. We saw that
Yes.
against Wales, even though we were trying to sit in and hit them on the break. At times when we got the free kick or when the goalkeeper got the ball, he wanted to pass from the back. Do you think that is a good strategy to go with, or we should just be going long every time?
Um,
Yeah,
there's
because it
a
could be dangerous, right? It could be
yeah,
it could be a way for Panama to get a goal, maybe
yeah,
very early on in the game or quite late in the game if we
yeah.
don't play out from the back very well. And I'm not sure if we have the midfield to be able to play out from the back the way that
Mm,
we have tried to do in our last few
mm,
games. I think against Mexico we did the same thing. We considered from that from a mistake as a result of that. So I think we should be careful with the way we play out from the back, especially because we don't have Thomas Partey in this particular game.
yeah.
What do you make of the way we build up?
I think we should desist from playing out from the back, especially in the early moments of the game. That is very I spoke and I'm always speaking about confidence. I think we need to grow into the game. So first 10 minutes, make sure there's no pressure on our goalkeeper. First 10 minutes, stay in the game. So very early on, no trying to play out from the back, no gimmicks, no risk, just full on punch it in the air. We try and win the second ball, and then we go from there. I think with in terms of playing out from the back, we don't even have the men for it. Just as you said. One other thing is also um sometimes I feel like the players don't show up enough for the ball. That is something that and you when you watch the game and you're trying to analyze how or why they are not able to take control of the game. Sometimes you're left wondering what exactly is it. You can't really pinpoint it. And I think it is something that you wouldn't really notice until you look very close. At times, our players don't show up for the ball. You see, a player has the ball. There are not really any passing options. And I'll give you a typical example. You look at a striker like Dilap at Chelsea. You never see Dilap free. Like Dilap is free to receive a pass. He's never free. There's always a defender at the back of Dilap. You look at Rasmus Højlund, his first season at United, he was never free to receive a pass. There's always someone on the back. And that stands for a lack of confidence. He's not even confident enough to um, you know, make a certain movement to free himself to receive the ball at feet and then decide
Yeah,
what next to
yeah,
do with it. There's
yeah.
always
I think
someone
it's an
behind
issue
him,
of
and so
confidence.
he's always struggling to receive the ball, take the first touch. That is
Yeah,
something that I think the players need to
it
do.
always seems like he's not ready to receive the ball.
Yes, yes,
Whenever the
exactly.
pass comes to him, it's like it's he's in a rush to get the
Yes,
ball under control. So
yes.
Yeah, I think when you are confident, normally what happens is that you you time your runs very well. You time your movement very well. So just you time your movement in such a way that just when your player is about to hit the ball, you are in space. And then
Yeah.
once he hits the ball, you can receive it and turn, or you can receive it and lay it off for a pass. Now let's look at the lineup, the possible
Okay.
lineup. Let's start with the front. Now we want to start from the front and come back instead of going the other way around as we normally
Yeah.
do. So let's assume a 4-3-3 formation. So the front three, who are you going for Ghana?
The front three, I would go and Nyama on the right. I would go Jordan Ayew as the striker, and then Semenyo on the left. But there's a little dynamic to it. But for now, you said front three, so that would be my front three.
I didn't hear your left option. So your left
My
option
left
would
wing is
be
Antoine Semenyo.
Antoine Semenyo. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why would you go for Jordan Ayew instead of maybe someone like Inaki Williams or Brandon Thomas Asante?
Yeah. Ideally, I would go for Brandon Thomas. I think he offers more, especially in terms of when we are trying to win the ball back and press. Because I saw his energy levels against Wales, and he's a player that really has something to prove as well. He's a new player that is coming into the Premier League with Coventry. He has a good tournament. He probably get a move. So in his mind, I think it's in the back of his mind too that he has a point to prove. But I'm I'm trying to be a bit more realistic because I don't see the coach benching Jordan. That is why I mentioned Jordan. So I'm not starting Jordan necessarily because I want to start. I just think the manager will not drop him, especially when I saw us training for set pieces. He's the best set piece taker in our team. You remember the 2022 World Cup? I think the first goal or the second goal scored against South Korea. He was the one that um, got on the set pieces and was always a threat when it came to set pieces. He's a very good set piece taker. When it comes to even penalties, he's the best penalty taker in our team. And I think he offers something as well in terms of his profile. He can hold the ball, bring others into play. But the one major thing I have with Jordan is his decision making, when to release and when to hold on to it. At his age, this is the time Jordan should have been able to make better decisions when it comes to, should I release it this time or should I hold on to it this time? At times, he needs to release it fast so that we go, but he doesn't. At times, he needs to hold on to it, and he does that very well. He was the most fouled player in the league at the point in time. So when it comes to holding up to the ball, getting fouled, releasing the pressure, he's one of the best. I would even say he's one of the best in the world when it comes to releasing pressure, hold on to the ball. He's one of the best. But the decision making and when to release it is the main problem. But his set pieces and what he offers is also something that you have to consider. And his experience as well. So Jordan, that is why Jordan is the team. And then Semenyo, who offer that verticality that we need when we get the ball and trying to go on the
Do you
transition.
think
And then Nyama
do
would
you
be
do you
go
think
on.
Semenyo can it would be better to also put Semenyo on the right instead of the left? Because at Man City, he normally plays on the right, isn't that right?
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't normally play on the left.
Uh,
And even at Bournemouth, he was normally on the right instead of the left. So would it be better to put him on the right? But also, if you do that and put him on the right, it means that the position for Enes Miyama is also going to be in doubt.
yeah.
So maybe that is where the decision has to be made, whether it would be best to put him on the left instead of the right. But let's look at the midfield. Your midfield three, who are you going for in the midfield?
The midfield, this is where I have the monumental task. It is like asking me a calculus question in math. It's it's impossible for me to answer, honestly. I can't even get two to even talk about three. So, but I'll try to give you one. Without
Give me your two, or who would be the first name on the team sheet when it comes to the midfielders right now? Who
right
comes to
now,
mind first?
yeah, right now, the first name on the team she's in midfield is Talib UNG. She's the first name on the
Okay.
team she's in midfield.
Okay.
The
And then
second one,
who comes in with him? Yeah.
who comes in? Is Elisha Wu. Elisha Wu to pair Talib UNG. And I'm not so confident about that choice. I'm not so confident about that choice. But I think he's all we've got right now. He off the ball, I question his positioning, and that is why Sibo is not in the team. I think Sibo's positioning at times is absolutely horrendous at times. Decision making is not particularly good on the ball. Off the ball, he lacks the awareness, and the positioning is not really something that it's not really of a high level for Sibo. Sibo would at times it's okay when he plays with Party because Party is able to instruct him where he's supposed to be and whatnot, but without Party, I wouldn't even go here put Sibo for the first 11. Then maybe I'll put in Augustine Boache. Augustine Boache plays in the League One. He's a bit of a no-known for many people, for many Ghanaians, but he does have he does have the minutes when it comes to playing consistently in the League One. I wouldn't say I've watched him. I haven't really watched him, but the Ghana method that we have right now, we don't have a lot of options. So maybe I would give him a go in that 11 because there's only Sibo that is really left in that midfield.
Okay. But what about also going this way? What about bringing Nuyama in the 10 position, right? And then
Yeah.
putting Brandon Thomas Asante on the right with Jordan and Semenyo, or Kwabena Bonsuba. Is it Bonsuba?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bonsuba.
on the right, and then with Jordan and Semenyo, so that in the midfield we can have a number 10 in the shape of Nuyama, who is going to create, dribble, carry the ball, and whatnot. So that even if the base of the midfield, the two, Yirinchi and whoever plays with him, even if they can't progress the ball, they would be more concentrated on just defending. Allow the front four of Semenyo, Jordan, whoever is on the right, plus Niama to do all the attacking. Just concentrate on keeping it solid. Those two behind that front four. I don't know if you think that would be a good way to
I
also
think
go.
you make a good point, but Bonsuba predominantly prefers the left, not the right. So maybe, like you alluded to earlier, Semenyo might probably go on the right, then Bonsuba will be on the left. Then we would have Jordan or Asante in the night, then Nyama will be behind them. And then we just play the two sitters, which will be Urenchi and Lasho or Justin White. Then we have our back four. That is a realistic line.
Okay, let's look at the back line. The back four. That is where the major decisions are.
Yes.
Who are you
Back
going for?
four against Wales, there were many question marks about what our best pairing is, considering the fact that Salisu and then Alexander Chichu are all in there. That is our most. That is probably when it comes to Ghana, the Ghana Blackstars are like that is a settled position that we've had in our team for a number of years now. It's Salisu and Chichu. Everybody always knew it is always Salisu and Chichu.
Yeah.
They are both. Now there were question marks about Jonas Ajete being in the Blackstars recently, caused a few handballs, a few decision making. So people really questioned his performance, but he did quite well against Wales. But the question is
But it
that
was
enough
against
to put him
Wales.
in the starting lineup? Come again?
It was against Wales.
It was against Wales. It was against
Yeah.
Kiefer Moore. It was against Kiefer Moore. So is that
And
enough
it
to
was
put
just
him
one game.
in a
So
to start a
I don't
World Cup
think we
game?
can. It was just one game, so I don't think we
Yeah,
can really make a
yeah.
lot out of that
Well, that
single
tells you
game.
how bad
So
the team is. If we are basing off a selection of the player based on just one, because we don't have a lot of options. I would have
yeah, the options are not
preferably
there.
gone for Abdul Moment. I've seen how good he is when he
Okay.
plays in the La Liga for Vallecano, but he's coming off with an ACL injury, just like Niama. And if he's as sharp as we saw Niama against those, I will start him in the game. But again, and that is why I'm a bit worried, and I'm not too sure if I should start Moment because Mumin is better than the two center backs in Jonas Ajeti
Jerome
and the
Opoku.
other guy. Yeah.
Jerome.
So
Yeah.
I was wondering maybe why not let him start against Wales, give him some minutes, then we see how it goes. But he didn't start him. Does that mean that he's not at the level to start games? I'm not quite sure. I think the training will feed into his decision making as to who start at centre back. But ordinarily, I would have gone for Abdul Moment and one of Jonas Ajiti or the other guy. I can't remember the other guy.
Jerome Opoku.
Jerome Opoku, yes, very tall centre back. Yeah, I'll go with one of the two alongside Abdul Moment. And right back, I think I would go for Senaya. Senaya wasn't superb against Wales, but I think you saw the energy. He was strong-footed. He was aggressive, and that is the bare minimum that we need there. Ali Seidu hasn't been playing at club level. We don't really have a lot of options. So Senaya will be at right back. Left back, it is
Left
Gideon
back.
Mensah or Abdul Babarama. I will go Gideon Mensah. And that is
Okay.
not to say Gideon Mensah is top quality, but I will still go for him because you look at the back four that we have, the back four that I've just it is only Gideon Mensah who has been a consistent starter for the team. And so I would still go for him ahead of Abdul Babarama at left back. My goalkeeper will be Lawrence Atiti. I think since we qualify for the since we qualify for the World Cup, Atizigi it's been a bone of contention for every Ghanaian. Atizigi or Benjamin Asare, Atizigi or Benjamin. I think Atizigi has that experience for one. Secondly, I think his reflexes are a bit better than Benjamin Asare. I also think Benjamin Asare was very confident when he had Alexander Chiku and Salisu behind him. The combination was very good, but they not being there, and again, the new manager coming in, he doesn't care about the performance that you did in the qualifiers. Since he came in the game against Wales, the last game against Mexico, Lawrence Atizigi has actually been a little bit more stable. It's just 2 games, so it is really difficult to compare and contrast. But
Atizigi didn't play the Mexico game.
Ahead of
right.
Benjamin Asare.
Atizigi didn't play the Mexico game, so we can't really say he's had 2 games. But at least he's had 2 games to assess Benjamin Asare. So you can say that based on since he came in, the Blackstars coach Carlos Queiroz, he's been able to see enough of Benjamin Asare. So the decision should be easier right now between choosing Benjamin Asare or Atizigi. So I think that is it. With the back line, I don't have any preference really. I don't have any dislike for any of the players that you chose. So I think for the back line, the manager can do whatever he likes, and we'll see how it goes. So if it goes well, then fine. But for the back line, I'm not really confident in the back line. So anything goes for me. And thank you all for watching the video. This has been the preview for Blackstars against Panama. We'll catch you later on to review the game and to do our match reaction. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you are new. Also comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and your predictions for this game. See ya.